Okay, so I was just watching this lady, and I've seen a lot of her. I don't really remember her name. I can't really have us paying attention. But it's starting to bug me, these videos of her, because it's not that her information's wrong. Her information, I'm sure, I mean, I'm not going to go into great depth to study what she's studied and be able to tell you whether she's right or not. I don't think that actually matters. Because for her, she's right? She's saying what she believes is right. But she's so focused on the details and so focused on these minute little this is that and this is that, and what really bothers me is the underlying energies in which she's giving these messages. And this is where I really want to encourage people to connect to their higher selves so they can start to recognize when they're feeling specific energies. And the one that she's emitting is resonating a lot with loss and fear. She's portraying, that our current situation on earth is so horrific and this is why and it's unnatural and blah, blah, blah. And perhaps she's right. But fear is not the answer. And doing things in the name of fear to accomplish a goal that can only be achieved through genuine, true, unconditional love is a trap. I don't know if she's doing it intentionally. I don't know if maybe she's stuck. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know her teachings. I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that the overall message, and the more I watch her, the more icky it's making me feel. And I almost want to rip her video. Have you ever had, I have a volatile reaction where I want to rip her videos like right off the internet, because some of her information is so dangerous. Giving people all the knowledge, the structural information, the details, without them actually connecting to their higher selves and learning that the true path is supposed to be something that they create uniquely with themselves and their higher self, that they don't need to follow a specific system. They don't have to follow someone else's programming. They haven't reached that stage of self-awareness, of self-unconditional love, and yet you give them all this information, you give them all of these tools, and they can't figure out why none of it works for them. You're literally creating a system of failure repeatedly. You're literally creating a system that's going to not only set up a system of failure, but a system of doubt. When you create a program where people have to master knowledge before they master the awareness that allows them to use the knowledge, there's no winning. Do you guys understand that? The first step is learning to be aware of self. The next step is learning to love all of self. And then learning how to communicate with your higher self. Then if you want to get into the details and all the crazy stuff and it's like your passion, that's your science, that's your thing, cool, do it. But don't do it because you feel like you have to. Anything that puts you in a state of fear, anything that puts you in a state of anxiety, anything that has rules and limitations, not from your higher self, not from source, all lies, all bullshit, always. I'm not kidding. My truth doesn't have to be your truth. What works for me doesn't have to work for you. My meditation, the way I meditate, might not be the way you meditate. Hell, I meditate differently 3 times a day sometimes. Sometimes I meditate while dancing. Sometimes I meditate while sitting still. Sometimes I meditate while laying down. I don't know, like it can happen, right? Meditative state is a state of consciousness, not a physical activity. Yeah. So I forget that woman's name. I just caution you and anyone who's willing to listen to me. If someone is telling you something and you can feel it in your chest starts to feel tight, your stomach starts to feel icky, you're like, oh man, that's a lot. I have to do all of that? It's not for you. Actually, I've heard Bashar say this and Abraham Hicks say this, and that's really important. So if Abraham is saying it and Bashar is saying it and lots of other people are saying it, I'm sure there's a big truth to this because I resonate with it too. Doubt isn't the indication of a false belief. Doubt is the indication of a belief that is not for your highest good. It's not for you. Not all beliefs are for you. If you doubt something, You're doubting it because that belief isn't for you. You need a different one. You need to keep exploring. You need to keep questioning. Never stop questioning. Never stop exploring. Right? And if somebody's giving you a whole whack load of information that's so fucking overwhelming that you are just consumed with it and you've lost the total goal of learning how to be a whole person who feels loved completely from the inside out, it's a trap. It's a trap. Don't let people talk you into getting confused, because that's basically what it is. And then you'll have the perpetual circle of guilt and shame and feeling not good enough because you can never match the level of, and they're like, again, they're setting you up for failure. They're teaching you something that you don't have the awareness to actually use. You know, it'd be like me handing my kid a 10-pound dumbbell before they've even learned to hold their head up. It's like, here, baby, have this. You can use it. And the baby is stuck on the floor for the entire day with a 10-pound dumbbell on top of them. That's what they're doing to you. They're handing you so much information and you don't have the awareness or the skills to do anything with it. And you stay stuck. Anyways, that's my cautionary tale for everyone who's out there seeking knowledge and awareness and wants to grow spiritually and raise their vibration. Be careful you're not holding on to so much knowledge that you forget to get into your feels. Your feels is how you heal. Your feels is how your higher self communicates to you. It's sensations in your body, images in your head, energy, anything that is energy, right? How energy can communicate. It can be flashing lights. It can be sensations, like electrical sensations in your body. It can be emotions, which cause other physical sensations in your body, as well as, thoughts in your head. It could be a zillion different things, but you have to learn how to recognize them, discern them, and interact with them. And give them space so that you recognize they aren't actually you and that they aren't necessarily how you are supposed to be in the moment. They're just something happening and it's trying to tell you something. Okay? Okay. Keep it simple. When people overcomplicate shit, they're probably trying to trap you. Yeah, because they're already stuck themselves. Nobody needs that shit. Because the universe is actually quite simple. Some of it gets complicated when you get to the nitty-gritty details, but again, you don't do that until you have the awareness and the skills and the capacity for it. You know? You don't teach the kid algebra before they know how to add. Just, common sense and shit. Anyways. You have to start with learning how to connect to your higher self. You have to start with learning that you are unconditional love, that you are lovable, you are worthy, and that you don't have to follow the system's rules. And then go knowledge crazy if that's what you want. Okay? Okay. Have a great day. Goodbye.